guys, it's me again, Julian Greystoke. Today I'm wearing my soft kitty shirt. Soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. Happy kitty, sleepy kitty, purr, purr, purr. You're welcome for that. So today is story time. I just hit my elbow on the arm of my chair. Today I am going to tell you a little bit about what it was like growing up as an asexual, because I am asexual. I also have french fries in the oven, so hopefully that will help me keep this video from being too long and rambly, otherwise I will have burned french fries in the oven. Now here's a little disclaimer. I am very open about my sexuality and will try my best to explain anything to any of you who have questions in the comments below. However, do not assume that all asexuals are as open about their sexuality, and do not just ask random asexuals whatever question you feel like. That is extremely rude. If I deem your questions to be inappropriate or rude to me or anyone else in the comments, I will delete them because this is a dictatorship and I'm the dick in charge. See the crown? It means I'm the boss around here. Except for Kinshu the cat. She's actually the boss around here, but she's not here right now, so I'm the boss. Questions that are off limits will include questions about my actual active sex life and about me and my husband's relationship, because that involves him. Okay, disclaimers out of the way, let's talk about what it was like to be a baby asexual. Me! Quick explanation, an asexual person is someone who does not experience sexual attraction. So, baby ace me. For most of my life, actually well into my adulthood, I did not know that asexuality was a thing or that it was something that I could ever be. And of course, as a child, it didn't really matter, because when you're a little kid, you're not thinking about who you want to have sex with. You're just like climbing trees and riding your bike and doing exciting fun shit because you're a little kid. However, at a certain age, your peer group begins to become interested in certain things. And if you're asexual like me, you can find yourself feeling like the odd one out because you are not. My first very distinct memory, I'm sure there were other instances before that, but I have a very distinct memory of when I first felt like I didn't fit in the sexual world that I was growing into. I was at a pool party, somebody's birthday party, and we were at her place, you know, eating chips, hanging out in the pool, but this time felt really different, and nobody wanted to play dumb pool games, and nobody wanted to just like hang out and be goofy, because a lot of the girls had recently gone on like a mission trip or something, and they had met some boys there that they really, really fancied, and all they wanted to talk about was the boys. How they wished the boys were there, how the boys said this or that to them, and they wanted to regale me with all these stories of the experiences with these boys that they had a crush on. And I was very frustrated, and I racked my brain trying to think of a crush that I could have, that I could talk about with them, but it did not exist. Such a person did not exist, and so it was a very frustrating pool party because all of a sudden they had all moved on to this world that I didn't realize then I would never move on to. But time went on and I grew older and I joined a theater called Rebel Alliance Theater, which is where I was at for 13 years, and it is a huge formative portion of my life, and it was an amazing place and an amazing experience. And I met some of the people that I'm still friends with, and I formed long-lasting friendships there at Rebel. But it was there that I also encountered a lot of people and their sexualities, which is fine, but as I said, I didn't understand that I was asexual until well into my adulthood, so it was also very confusing because everybody was pairing off, and I was pretty much the undesirable one. Now, something to understand about me personally, not every asexual is like this. I am asexual, but I am not aromantic, meaning I have no desire for sex, but I have a desire for a relationship and for a romantic relationship involving cuddling and kissing and hand-holding and being married and having a life partner and that kind of thing, okay? So I wanted that, but I didn't want the sex part, and I really feel that a lot of people could sense that about me. I only dated 2 people before I married my husband, and neither of those times went well. I made it very clear to those people right away that I would not have sex until marriage, which is what I was going with at the time. Because I had no sexual desire towards them or anyone, and I didn't understand it, so I just told myself it was because I had chosen to wait until after marriage. Really handy thing being Catholic, because I could use that as my excuse for not wanting to have sex with them, rather than the fact that I didn't want to have sex with them or anyone. But long story short, my teenage years were very frustrating emotionally. I know everybody's are. Everybody's teenage years are frustrating emotionally for different reasons. My reason was that I really wanted to date, but nobody wanted to date me. A lot of it was because there were other girls around who were a lot more sexual than me. Not knocking them, absolutely not slut-shaming them. It is just a fact that they were more sexual than me, and that made them more attractive to the guys, most of the guys that I was interested in. I'm sure there were other factors. I was kind of a dork. I still am, but I was kind of a dork, and I did not dress provocatively or attractively at all, which is something that I have kind of noticed many of us asexuals do, because we are not trying to attract a sexual partner. We dress kind of however we want. Anyway, I dressed pretty much as I dress now, which is, you know, fun, but not like, oh my gosh, she's so sexy, I must date her. Obviously, eventually, I managed to snare my poor husband, and we have been married for 10 years, together for 12. And I did not come into the realization 100% that I was asexual until pretty far into our marriage. But I'm not really going to talk about that because, as I said, we're not going to be discussing me and my husband. The other thing that I found very frustrating growing up was the lack of asexual representation. Asexual erasure is a thing, and it is very hard to deal with. Growing up, you basically are told that sex is the most natural thing in the entire world, and every human being wants to have it, and if you don't want that, then you're not even a human being. Which, if you're like a 13-year-old, is not fun to hear. Now people come at me with that, and I'm like, you're right, I'm a plant. Let me photosynthesize for a while. Even my family, even though they meant well, and I love my family, and I love my mother, and we're still very close friends, but she made it clear that the expectation of a wife was that she would be sexually available for her husband, and that was another message that was being driven into me, is that I would one day have to become sexual somehow. By hook or by crook, you're gonna have to figure it out. And this never happened to me, but it has happened to asexual people, where they will be assaulted by well-meaning sexual people trying to cure their asexuality. Anyway, I'm rambling all over the place, and I think my fries are almost done. So, a big point that I wanted to make in my future is, when I was growing up as a little kid, I latched onto a lot of characters in books and TV that seemed like they might be asexual, whose character never wound up with a love interest. And that resulted in me really enjoying a lot of characters who were robots and aliens. It made me determined, now that I'm an adult and I am a writer, it made me very determined to adequately represent asexual characters in my stories. And if you want to see my favorite asexual characters, links in the doobly-doo to a list that I made for that. Because asexual characters in media are almost universally not represented. Anyway, this was my long, rambly story of being a young person who is asexual. If any of you found this interesting or helpful, comment below and let me know. If you are asexual, shout out to my asexual brothers and sisters! And people who are also non-binary! But ace, non-binary and ace is cool too! That's enough raising of the roof for me now. I'm from the 90s, can you tell? Nigel's here and he can tell. He's like, Mom, stop. Please, you're embarrassing everyone. Remember guys, I post new videos here on my channel Mondays and Fridays or Saturdays. If you want to keep up with that, there is a subscribe button that can help with that. Just give it a little click. And if you want to know all of my shenanigans, because I get up to quite a few shenanigans, my social media pages are also below in the doobly-doo. Nigel the cat says hi, and he says be understanding of asexual people. And I will see you guys next time with whatever it is we happen to be doing next time. Bye!